श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की
जय।
आनंद गौड़ी वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
नमाचार्य दास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा
जय।
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
तको प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees. Guru Govind. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation. Chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. And today's verses 42 to 44, last three verses, this chapter. So we shall read 42. Sato samshaya vayamasa Maharajam Parikshidam Prayopavishtam Gangayam Paridam Paramarshvi. Sato samshavayamasa Maharajam Parikshidam Prayopavishtam Gangayam Paridam Paramarshvi. Sato samshavayamasa Maharajam Parikshidam Prayopavishtam Gangayam Paridam Paramarshvi. Hare Krishna. Shailaja Maji. Shailaja Maji, mute. You are mute. At unmute.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सदो संश्रयावयामास महाराजं परीषिदं प्रायोपविष्टं गंगायां परीदं परमर्षिभिः। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Yes. Maji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। संभावयामास महाराजं परीक्षितं प्रायोपविष्टं गंगायां परीदं परमर्षिभिः। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Milinda Maji.
हरे कृष्ण। सतो संश्रवयम् अस्य महाराजं परीक्षितं प्रयोपविष्टं गंगायां परीतं परमर्षिभिः। हरे कृष्ण। May I read for today?
Yes.
Sa, the son of Yasadeva, too again Samshravayam Asa, make them audible, Maharajam, unto the emperor, Parikshitam, of the name Parikshit, Praya Upavishtam, who sat until death without food or drink, Gangayam, on the bank of the Ganges, Paritam, being surrounded, Parama Rishabhi, by great sages. Translation: Sukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, in his turn delivered the Bhagavatam to the great emperor Parikshit, who sat surrounded by sages on the bank of the Ganges, awaiting death without taking food or drink. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. All transcendental messages are received properly in the chain of disciplic succession. This disciplic succession is called parampara. Unless, therefore, Bhagavatam or any other Vedic literatures are received through the parampara system, the reception of knowledge is not bona fide. Vyasadeva delivered the message to Sukadev Goswami, and from Sukadev Goswami, Suta Goswami received the message. One should therefore receive the message of Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami or from his representative, and not from any irrelevant interpreter. Emperor Parikshit received the information of his death in time, and he at once left his kingdom and family and sat down on the bank of the Ganges to fast until death. All great sages, rishis, philosophers, mystics, etc. went there due to his imperial position. They offered many suggestions about his immediate duty, and at last it was settled that he would hear from Sukadev Goswami about Lord Krishna. Thus the Bhagavatam was spoken to him. Sripada Shankaracharya, who preached Mayavada philosophy and stressed the impersonal feature of the Absolute, also recommended that one must take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, for there is no hope of gain from debating. Indirectly, Sripada Shankaracharya admitted that what he had preached in the flowery grammatical interpretations of the Vedanta Sutra cannot help one at the time of death. At the critical hour of death, one must recite the name of Govinda. This is the recommendation of all great transcendentalists. Sukadev Goswami had long ago stated the same truth that at the end one must remember Narayana. That is the essence of all spiritual activities. In pursuance of this eternal truth, Srimad Bhagavatam was heard by Emperor Parikshit and it was recited by the able Sukadev Goswami. And both the speaker and the receiver of the message of Bhagavatam were truly delivered by the same medium. Hare Krishna.
कृष्णे सुधामो भगदे धर्मज्ञानादिसहां कलौ नष्टविषामेषां पुराणार्थो नवोदिताम् अधुनोदिताम् कृष्णे सुधामो भगदे धर्मज्ञानादिभिस्सहां कलौ नष्टविषामेषां पुराणार्थो अधुनोदिताम् कृष्णे सुधामो भगदे धर्मज्ञानादिभिस्सहां कलौ नष्टदुषामेषां पुराणार्थो अग्नोदिताम् सैजमालजी
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णे सदा महोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलो नष्टदृशामेष पुराणार्थो अधुनोदिताः। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण वृंदमा जी
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। कृष्णे स्वादामोपगते धर्म ज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नाश्ता दृशम एषा पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः। हरे कृष्ण।
उमा जी
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णे सुधामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः नवोनदृशामेष पुराणर्कोऽधुनोदितः। Krishna, in Krishna, Swadharma, own abode, Upagade, having returned, Dharma, religion, Jnana, knowledge, Abhi, Adibihi, combined together, Saha, along with, Kalau, in the Kali Yuga, Nashtadrisham, of the person who have lost their sight, Esha, all these, Puranarkaha, the Purana which is brilliant like the sun, Adhuna, just now, Uditaha, has arisen. Translation. This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Purport. His Divine Grace, Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal Dhamma or abode where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and paraphernalia, and his eternal abode is a manifestation of his internal energy, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his external energy. When he descends on the material world, he displays himself with all his paraphernalia in his internal potency, which is called Atma Maya. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atma Maya. His form, name, fame, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to re-establish codes of religion which are directly enacted by him. Except for God, no one can establish the principle of religion. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the codes of religion. Real religion means to know God, our relation with him, and our duties in relation with him, and to know ultimately our destination after leaving this material body. The conditioned souls who are entrapped by the material energy hardly know all this principle of life. Most of them are like animals engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. They are mostly engaged in sense enjoyment under the pretension of religiosity, knowledge, or salvation. They are still more blind in the present age of Coral or Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, the population is just a royal addition of the animals. They have nothing to do with spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, or ego, but they are very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material prosperity. They can risk their lives to become a dog or a hog just after leaving the present body, for they have completely lost sight of the ultimate aim of life. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga, and he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. While he was present, he exhibited everything by his different activities. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretensions principle of religiosity. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Sri Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the messages of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus both the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam are like torchbearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali wants to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life. Lord Sri Krishna personified. We must therefore accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the direct representation of Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can see also Lord Sri Krishna in person. They are identical. Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Text 44. Tatra kirtayado vipra viprashe bhuri tejasa ham chadyagamam tatra nivishtastadanuggraha soham va shaveshyami yadadidam yadhamati. Tatra kirtayado vipra viprashe bhuri tejasa ham chadyagamam tatra nivishtasto anugraha soham va shavayishyami yadadidam yadhamati. Tatra kirtayado vipra viprashe bhuri tejasa ham chadyagamam tatra nivishtastadanuggraha soham va shavayishyami yadadidam yadhamati. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sailaja Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रश्चेद्भुवितेजसाः अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तदनुग्रहात् सोऽहं श्रावयिष्यामि यदा दीदं यदा मदी हरे कृष्ण
Jai Shri Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
Hare
ओम
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसा अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तदनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वश्रावयिष्यामि यथातीतं यथामति हरे कृष्ण
Oh, right, Kumaraji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatra Kirtayato Vipra Vipraishar Bhuri Tejasaha Aham Chadya Gamam Tatra Nivishtasthanu Anugrahat Soham Sravayichyami Yathaditam Yadhamati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Milindamaji.
Hare Krishna. तत्र यतो विप्रा विप्रशेर्भुरि तेजसा अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टास्तद् अनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वः श्रवाष्यमि यथादितं यथामति. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Snigdhamaji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षि भूरि तेजसः अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तदनुग्रहात् सोऽहं श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति. May I read the synonyms, Prabhu?
Yes.
Synonyms. Tatra, there. Kirtayata, while reciting. Vipraha, O Brahmanas. Viprarsha, from the great Brahman Rishi. Bhuri, greatly. Tejasa, powerful. Aham, I. Cha, also. Adhyagamam, could understand. Tatra, in that meeting. Nivishta, being perfectly attentive. Tat anugrahat, by his mercy, Saha, that very thing, Aham, I, Vaha, unto you, Sravai Shami, shall tell you here, Tatra Adhitam Yatha Mati, is for is my realization. Translation. O learned Brahmanas, when Sukadeva Goswami recited Bhagavatam, there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus by his mercy I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. But His Divine Grace, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. One can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Sri Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam if one has heard it from a self-realized great soul like Sukadeva Goswami. One cannot, however, learn Bhagavatam from a bogus hired reciter whose aim of life is to earn some money out of such recitation and employ the earning in sex indulgence. No one can learn Srimad Bhagavatam who is associated with persons engaged in sex life. That is the secret of learning Bhagavatam. Nor can one learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the text by his mundane scholarship. One has to learn Bhagavatam from the representative of Sukadeva Goswami and no one else. If one at all wants to see Lord Sri Krishna in the pages, that is the process, and there is no alternative. Sutta Goswami is a bona fide representative of Sukadeva Goswami because he wants to present the message which he received from the great learned Brahmana, Sukadeva Goswami, presented Bhagavatam as he heard it from his great father. And so also, Sutta Goswami is presenting Bhagavatam as he had heard it from Sukadeva Goswami. Simple hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word Nivishta means that Sutta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is the real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Sri Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam. Thus, at the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the first canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmedam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadadi Supradandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udatam Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganarkradhanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishadhanvidamsa Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine
Shiva Shavana
Shri Ashabanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadayine Prabhave Namah Madhuryo Prema Shri Rupanuk Bhaktidam Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahayam Namastude Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viridha Abhasiddhanda Dvanda Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambuje Te Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravirbhavu Mestam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhaumo Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Hechai Goshai Kori Charan Bandhan Jaham Hoti Vignanash Abhishta Puran Vancha Kalpadrupasya Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurattushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadanam Bhaktakyam Namamo Bhakta Shaktigam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Jedam Sadopango Mama Mandamadir Gadi Mat Sarva Supadam Bojo Radha Madanamohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrimudam Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prishthalavi Sevimanos Parami Srimad Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vadat Tadastidaha Kashan Venus Sune Gopi Gopinada Shetna Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna. So you understood the structure of this
Yes.
Pranamandras?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me. And the Mangala you have seen, the Mangala Charana, first one.
First one is Guru
Vandeham
Pranamam.
Shri Guru, yes.
Guru Pranamam to remove ignorance and provide knowledge.
And first you worship the Guru, your own Guru, that is Srila Prabhupada, isn't it?
Guru
Vandeham
Bandhan.
Shri Guru, Vandeham Shri Guru. So how you worship Srila Prabhupada? By reciting Pranam Mantra. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale. Okay.
Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Nami.
Yes. 2 verses are there. Glorifying Srila Prabhupada. Then one day Shri Guru, Shri Rita Patakamalam, Shri Vaishnavamsa, Shri Gurun. So Shri Gurun, then the Guru Parampara.
Then the Guru Parampara from the reverse order.
Yeah. That is first Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasi.
Then
There are 4 verses glorifying Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasi.
very
Goswami.
dear to Krishna, then favored by Srimad Radharani,
Yes.
pacified energy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, mercy,
Right.
deliverer of fallen souls, and will not tolerate anything against the devotional service enunciated by Rupa Goswami.
Yes.
Then comes the prayers of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura.
So that is 4. Now, next one is
Gaura
Gaur
Kishore Babaji.
Babaji.
These are manifestation of what is
Manifest
it? Renunciation.
intense love.
Vipralambara Baba means what do you call embankment of
Bhakti
separation.
Siddhanta Saraswati, spiritual master.
Yes, spiritual master. It's embankment of separation. Vipralambara Sambodhe. When there is when the lovers meet, they have a lot of bliss is there. When they are separated, the bliss is more. That separation mood is called Vipralambha. So next the Guru is
Bhakti Vinoda Thakur.
Bhaktivinoda Thakura. The glorifying Bhaktivinoda Thakura is a Gauru Sarup. He is a personification of Gauru Sarup because he only introduced Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to us. After that,
Jagannatha Prabhu.
yeah, Jagannath Das Babaji. He's a renunciate. He is the Sarvabhauma. He's the foremost of all the Vaishnavas.
Yes.
Then
Sarvabhauma.
I didn't get Vaishnava pranams. After this Jagannatha Pranati, you are telling something Raghunatha Bhatt and all
Yes.
those things.
Huh?
That is 6 Goswami, Sat Goswami.
There is Sat Goswamis because that is not given in that.
Yes, it is not
it's
given.
not there. That is
So
not
we have
there.
to chant
But you
the
should
Sat
add that because if you see the God of the this Sri
Goswamis.
Guru Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupa Sanatana. That is Sri Rupa is given, no?
Sagaradatang
Goswami is given.
Sagana Raghunathan Nitum Samsi.
So Shat Goswami we should glorify.
That I write down.
That is given in a very famous Kirtan is there. Very famous Kirtan. We sing every day. Almost in occasions we sing in our temples. Written by Narottam Dasa Goswami. They are glorifying that. There is glorification of Shat Goswami's own. One day we'll sing that. Right? So after Goswami is over,
Vaishnava Pranam.
then we are Vaishnava Pranam. Because all these are Vaishnavas. We are glorifying each and every glorifying. And then we are giving the obeisance to these Vaishnavas. And then what?
Gauranga Pranam.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Krishna Vamsa Shri Rupa Sagaradhan Sanadhanam Shri Rupa Shri Chaitanya Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. So we have to glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then the Panchatattva.
And then
2 verses are there.
Pranamam. Then Krishna
First we glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is a verse given by Rupa Goswami. And then the Panchatattva.
Prabhuji, there are 2 Panchatattwas. One is here and one towards the end. What is the
Panchatattva, that is one is mantra.
Yeah, that is actually
mantra.
Panchatattva. It's not, that is not Panchatattva Mahamantra. We are glorifying the Panchatattwas by giving that. These are 5 designations. This one, 3 are incarnations of Krishna. One is Krishna's energy, and one is a Jiva Tattva. Krishna, Jiva Tattva is Srivasa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is God. Then Balram is expansion. Then Advaita Acharya is Vishnu's expansion. He is a combination of Sahadeva, Karnodayasha Vishnu and Shiva. And then you have Gadadhara. Gadadhara is energy of Radharani.
Devotional
Then
energy.
Srivasa is Jiva Tattva.
Yes.
That is why Panchatattvatmangam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Surubham Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktigam. There is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a very elaborate purport is given by Srila Prabhupada. for this verse. This is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. After that, we are glorifying Krishna in 4 verses.
Afternoon.
The 2, 3, and 4 is Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. We
Prayojana.
have seen these terms so many times. We have seen these terms, isn't it? The first 3 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam is Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. What is Sambandha?
Sambandha is glorifying
relation to God.
Radha.
No, we are
Our
re-establishing our connection with Krishna. We are so long we have been wandering away from Krishna, and now we are establishing our connection. After having understood who is Krishna is and what is our relationship with Krishna, that is Sambandha Jnana. And Sambandha Jnana is the form of Radha Madana Mohan established by Sanatana Goswami. That is Radha Madana Mohana. That is called Sambandhadideva. Then what is Abhideya?
Abhideya is the activities.
Yes, in relation to this knowledge, in relation to the relationship. And in previous verse, Srila Prabhupada is describing that term. No one can know him perfectly. Which is that in relationship. In one of the verses, he is stating, or maybe in other morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, what is our relationship with Krishna and what is our duty in relation to Krishna. Our duty is to worship Krishna. First of all, we understand our relationship with Krishna, who is Krishna, and our relationship. And then what is our duty in respect to the relationship? That is our rendering devotion service. That is called Abhideya. And Abhideya Deva is Radha Govinda. Radha Govinda. Abhideva Jnana Deva. And the last one is Prayojana. Having established relationship and doing the devotion service, we are benefited by being awarded with Krishna Prema. That is called Prayojana. And that is Radha. No, Gopinatha. Gopinath. So you find these 3 verses there.
Yes.
And if you go to Vrindavan, you will find these temples. Radha Madan Mohan established by Sanatana Goswami, Radha Govind established by Upa Goswami, and Gopinatha, forget. There is a famous Shad Goswami temple. 6 very great temples are there in Vrindavan. There are, of course, 5,000 temples in Vrindavan. Out of that, 6 or 7 established by these Shad Goswamis. And the 8th one is established by Srila Prabhupada, which is the temple.
Prem Mandir.
Oh my God, Prem Mandir. The Krishna Balaram temple, ISKCON temple. Prem Mandir is established something. Absolutely nothing to do with the Parampara. You've been to Vrindavan, no? You have been to Vrindavan. ISKCON temple is Radha Madan Mohan, Krishna Balaram temple only.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So all this we can find, and this is a sequence of our Pranam Mantra. Because we are, if you are really taking to heart, that means that you are joining the Parampara. Such a great Parampara, we being part of the Parampara, we should know all the Acharyas and what are the Pranam Mantras of all the Acharyas, and we should develop love for them. Otherwise, there is no point in reading studying Bhagavatam and other literatures. So, the last 4 verses, having established that the perfect inquiry is to inquiry unto Krishna, which is called Brahma Jignasa. Srimad Bhagavatam towards the end says that the perfect inquiry should be done, inquiry into Krishna, knowledge of Krishna, understanding Krishna, and then rendering Krishna service. That is the perfect knowledge. And then that what the book that which helps you to understand Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam. Are you following the sequence? Verse number 39 says that 39 says that the inquiries, what kind of inquiries? Inquiries of Krishna, which is basically called Brahma Jijnasa. The whole purpose of human life is to make inquiries. Tattva Jijnasa, Kamasya na Indriya Prider, Labo Jiva Yavada, Jiva Tattva Jijnasa, Jiva Tattva Jijnasa. If your person is not having this Tattva Jijnasa, his whole life is wasted. And Tattva Jijnasa is inquiries unto Krishna. Who is Krishna? What is our relationship with Krishna? What is our goal in his life? This is the inquiries. And this inquiries, the inquiries, answers to this inquiries is given Srimad Bhagavatam. You remember the Srimad Bhagavatam starts with inquiries by who is raising these inquiries?
Parishit.
Not Parishit Maharaj, the sages in
No,
Naimisharanya.
sages of Nimisharanya.
Yes,
Naimisharanya.
6 questions they are asking. No?
Yes.
Yes. Sutta Goswami.
It's all based on all based on Krishna only. Which is the best book, which is the best knowledge, which is the best book, what is Purushavadara, what is Leela Avtara, and what is the resort, last resort.
Last resort. To whom the religious
Yes.
principles
Before
are
he should take shelter.
given in shelter.
So that is, this is made possible. All these inquiries are answered by who? That Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled by Vyasadeva. He is an incarnation of God. And who is the reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam? The most respected and self-realized, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukadeva. That is, series verses 39, 40, and 41. And here, what he says, in Shukadeva Goswami, in turn delivered to Parishit Maharaj. Parishit Maharaj, who sat on the banks of Ganges, awaiting his death. So this story will be narrated later in this chapter. How it is so? So the word here is Prayopavishtam. Prayopavishtam means who sat until death without food or drink. So Medini, a great scholar, he gives some definition of praya. Praya means maranasanne mrityu bahuleyo. Maranasanne means fasting till death. Then another meaning is death. Another meaning is majority. Praya. We have seen 2 verses where use on the word praya is used. Prayena alpayusha sabhya ye hello asmi yuge jana. The first chapter, I think 11th verse. Praya means majority of the people in Kali Yuga are blind. They are always ubhadrada, mandabuddhi, mandajnana, everything is very dull people, always struggling, always fighting. Praya means most of the people. Then another verse in 2nd chapter comes that we recite every day. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, nityam bhagavad seveya. All those what is called inconsistencies, all these what is called troubles, everything is brought to nil, almost to nil. That is called prayena abhadreshu. Abhadra is all brought to nil by daily recital of Srimad Bhagavatam. So praya means majority, praya means mrityu, praya means maranasana, what we should do. You should fast. And Parishit Maharaja is fasting till death. And here Srila Prabhupada is giving the importance of receiving Srimad Bhagavatam in the sequence of the Guru Parampara. Vedavyasa, and Vedavyasa is son Shukadeva Goswami, and Shukadeva Goswami gives to Parikshit Maharaj, and the Emperor Parikshit Maharaj is awaiting his death, and when he's awaiting death, he is surrounded by Paridam Paramarshivi. Because he was surrounded by all the great sages and philosophers, very one, Siddha Purushas, because he's the greatest, he's the emperor of the world. He was the emperor of the world, and so he was surrounded by waiting his imminent death, all this surrounded by all these great sages. And towards the last chapter of this first canto, there will be a discussion among all these sages as to what Parikshit Maharaj do, what advice we should give to Parikshit Maharaj, who is about to die in 7 days. And finally, at the time entered Shukadeva Goswami. He directly went and sat in the Vyasapita, just like that. So idea is, when you are about to die, you should hear about Krishna only. There is a must. You should turn, you should maybe shut the door, and then with rapt attention, listen to Krishna. Krishna's glories, chant Hare Krishna, because that is most beneficial. Andakale chamamevam smaran mukta kalevaram ya prayadi samadbaham yadi nasyatya samshaya. 8.5 Bhagavad Gita. Whoever at the end of his life, Andakale chamam eva smaran mukta kalevaram, one quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. There is no doubt. My nature means the internal potency, the eternal nature of Krishna, which means he will quit his material body and regain his eternal Swarupa. Ande Narayana Smriti. Then the benefit is, when you think about Krishna at the end of your last minute, then you go back to Krishna's Dham. So that is a benefit. That is what one should do. Any sane person, he should remember this, that towards the end of his life, he should not hear anything else but about Krishna only, nothing else. Shut out everything else. If one from beginning itself is very good, they can then release Krishna's prema. But at least if you have missed the boat during the youth, then at least towards the end of your life, that's why people taking advantage of this will say that, okay, after 60, when I retire, then I'll concentrate on spiritualism. Then I'll take up Krishna spiritualism. But how it happens practically is that when you are becoming 60 years and all that, your body will be so weak. You'll be thinking of body only, about your, the condition of your body, the state of your health. So consulting so many doctors, taking so many medicines. And where is the question of a serious study of Bhagavad Gita at that time? Because it is not easy to take up spiritualism towards the end, because you are so conditioned. And even if you are taking up spiritualism, it will be very difficult to take up spiritualism, the Krishna consciousness, from the Parampara system. Because you are conditioned with so many knowledge which you have gathered throughout your life from many sources. So it will be difficult for us to accept this parampara and relish the association of parampara. But somehow or other, if you can remember Krishna at the end of your life, then you are surely able to gain entry to Dham. So that's why Shankaracharya, Srila Prabhupada says, Shankaracharya says, very famous one song is there for Srila Prabhupada, sorry, Shankaracharya, and some very famous one. Can you remember that?
Nirvana Shadaka.
No, Bhaja Govindam.
Yes, yes.
Bhaja Govindam.
Govindam Bhajam.
Bhaja
Hare
Govind-
Okay.
Hare.
Govindam
Govindam
Bhaja
Bhaja
Moodhamate.
Samprapte Sanhide Kale Nahi Rakshadi Dukkan Karne. Towards the end of your life, your Sanskrit, not Dukkan Karna means knowledge in Sanskrit, is not going to save you. Shankaracharya, very frankly, very honestly, he states that these Advaitavadis is so very proud of their knowledge in Sanskrit. I had one great debate, long debate, with other people. I always say that you should study Sanskrit only. Through this proper understanding of Sanskrit only you can understand scriptures. No, but nothing. There's no other way. Vyakaran, the grammar. If you don't know the grammar of Sanskrit, then you will miss out the real meaning of the scriptures. So they're very adamant on that. But Shankaracharya ultimately says that this grammar is not going to help you at all. Only you have to sing Krishna, Bhaj Govinda. Shankaracharya admitted that what he had preached in the flowery grammatical interpretations of Vedanta Sutra cannot help one at the time of death. So, in the critical hour of death, you should remember Krishna and recite name of Krishna. But very often than not, it's very difficult to remember Krishna if you don't practice this. We always say that suppose you're preparing for an examination, is the last minute preparation enough? You have to practice from the day one of the year. Suppose you're going to 10th standard, the 10th standard there is a exam is towards the end. For that, you should prepare from day one. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam says, Kaumarim eva acharade pratnya. You study, you start up the spiritual studies at the age of 5. So if you have missed the boat, at least ensure that your children don't. So this is the essence. Remembering Krishna at the time of death is the essence of all scriptures. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the foremost of all scriptures.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In Gita also it is said that Abhyasa and Vairagya, renunciation and practice. Abhyasa and Vairagya Jogena.
Yes,
So
yes.
it is possible.
Yes. Chapter number 6, verse number 35.
35. Yes.
Yamsena kaundeya vairagyena nirvita.
Yes.
Arjuna is asking, my mind is so chanchalam himana Krishna pramadi balavadridam.
Pramadam Balavattara.
So it's very it is even difficult. You can control air, but you cannot control the movements of mind. And Krishna says, yes, what you say is true. But you have to do is, you have to, admitting that mind is very fickle and chanchala, it's not going to help you. You have to practice pronunciation and you have to practice chanting. Vyasa means standing here. Pronunciation means keeping away from sense gratification.
Yes.
So, what is the real message of Srimad Bhagavatam? As given in the next verse, Krishna Sudhamo Bhagade Dharma Jnana Divisaha Kalo Nashta Dishamesha Purana Po Namodida. This is the answer to that last question.
What happened after Krishna?
Yes. What is a resort? What is a fine resort? What is a resort? A shelter. How the people can turn to.
To whom the religious principle are.
Yes. Shelter for religion after Krishna's disappearance. Question number 6. That is given in 1.1.23. The question. The answer is this. So Srila Prabhupada has given a very, very elaborate, very nice, powerful purport on this. Why remember Krishna? Because he is always in his internal potency. Only if you understand Krishna is always situated in internal potency, then only you can understand Krishna. Then only we can also understand that we are a product of internal potency only. So our rightful place is a place built with internal potency. Vaikunta Loka, spiritual world, is out of internal potency, while the material world is an external potency, Bahiranga Shakti, comprising of 24 elements. The material worlds. And the spiritual world, including Golok Vrindavan, which is capital Golok Vrindavan, is made of spiritual energy, internal energy. Krishna is always connected to internal energy only. While we jivas, although we are Sarupa is jiva and this one, but since we are connected with matter, we are having this material body. And whenever we see a body, we tend to think that this body is material only, because our practice or our condition is that, our experience is that only material bodies are here. So when we see a human form of Krishna, we tend to think that Krishna's body is also material. That is understanding of most of these people also. These people who are taking the Srimad Bhagavatam Dasa Saptama also, they tend to think that Krishna's body is material. They speak very nicely, but ultimately,
Prabhuji, I need to drop off, some call
Yeah.
came in. I have to go, Prabhuji. Sorry,
Understand.
Prabhuji. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Okay, so this happens everywhere. But we have to understand Krishna is spiritual only. And Krishna, having entered this material world, he is leaving this material world and going back to his material world with his spiritual body. And when he is returning, the dharma and religion is also taken, because dharma and religion are codes enacted by the Supreme Lord. The sixth canto you will see, Dharmastu Sachal Bhagavad Pranitam. Bhagavatu Sachal Bhagavad Pranitam. Dharma is encoded by Supreme Lord. That is why we see in Mahamantra, it's Hare Rama actually. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed it and he said it's Hare Krishna. There is a reason for that. One day I'll tell you. Chaitanya Chaitanya is given elaborately. Then you may ask, this Mahamantra is Veda mantra only. Kali Sandana Upanishad. One of the Upanishad, Kali Sandana Upanishad, is a verse from Kali Sandana Upanishad. It is Veda only. So how can somebody change the verses, the shlokas in Veda? The answer is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, Krishna is himself. So only Krishna can change this. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed. Dharmatu Sachat Bhagavad Pranitam. So a very dire situation comes. Nobody, especially in Kali Yuga, what people can do now? People, it's almost like animalish. Their taste corresponding to taste animals only. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It's surrounded by darkness. That is Kalau Nashtadishamesha, because you are groping the darkness. You don't know the direction. In the Christian Bible, there's a very nice song, say, Read Kindly Light. It's a very nice song. It's circling gloom, be thou me on, like that. It's a nice. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto also, there's a very nice verse describing this. 11th canto, chapter 30, verse 43. Abashyatya abashaya swach charanambujam prabho drishti pranasta tamasi pravishta disho na jane na labhe na shantim yatha nishayam udube pranaste. Just as on a moonless night, just as in a moonless night, people are merged into darkness, cannot find their way. Now that I have lost sight of your lotus feet, my Lord, I have lost my vision and I am wandering blindly in the darkness. I cannot tell my direction, nor can I find my inner peace. So, in a moonless night, very dark, people, when you are outside in the road or in a wayside, you cannot be able to find the way. It's pitch dark. In English, it's pitch dark. You don't know where is left, where is right even. So darkness. You'll be stumbling and falling down. You'll know the direction. Same way, when you forget the Lord of Sita Krishna, immediately Maya falls upon you and become a captive of the Maya. You're thrown into this darkness. I cannot tell my direction. I cannot understand my direction. Nor can I find any peace. It's a very nice verse. And Srimad Bhagavatam, again, third canto, chapter 2, verse 7, 3.2.7. Krishna Dyumninim Loche Ganeshu Ajagarenaham Kim Nuna Kushalam Bruyam Gadashriyu Griheshuham. My dear Vidura is spoken by Uddhava only. My dear Vidura, the sun of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can I say to you about our welfare? So Vidura is inquiring from Uddhava, what is that? Then Uddhava is telling that Krishna has gone back. So when Krishna has gone back, even otherwise the conditions worse. Now in Kali Yuga, conditions very worse. People are only interested in sense gratification. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the jurisdiction of subtle mind, intelligence, and ego. Even the greatest, the most intelligent people, they may not be enjoying the gross elements with the body or in senses, but their intelligence, their mind, everything is contaminated. So their works, philosophical works, poetry, everything will be contaminated by this contamination. Because they have lost the ultimate aim of life, which is to go back. When you have lost the ultimate aim of life, that means when you have lost direction, naturally you'll be wandering to many, many things. And people who have no direction, other people who have no other direction, they also tend to think that this work of these people, the literary works, the sahityas, the philosophical works, the poems, everything are great. Because everybody is in the darkness now. Everyone has lost their direction. Everyone has lost goal in the life. So this is a pathetic situation prevailing in Kali Yuga. And to help these people who have lost direction, just like a bright new sun, Srimad Bhagavatam has risen in the horizon. So it was compiled by Vyasadeva, who was empowered by Narada. Where you'll find the fourth and fifth next two chapters, very beautiful chapters, where Narada's and conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva will be there. So Srila Prabhupada says, if the people in the Kali Yuga, they want direction, they should rely on two books only, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, we add two more books. Which are that?
Chaitanya Charita.
Yes, Chaitanya Charitamrita and
Nectar of
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yes, Nectar of Devotion. These two books, of course, other books are also there, but these four, this is the pillars. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Nectar of Devotion. If you're able to read these four books, you don't have to read any other book. You should not read any other book because it will contaminate our consciousness. When you read these four books, your consciousness will be so pure that you'll be able to see Krishna sooner or later. But if you mix it with some other books, then your contamination will be there. This is in pure devotion. So don't mix it with karma and jnana. So Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary study and Srimad Bhagavatam is a summum bonum of life. So the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam is given in this verse. And the last verse, Tatra Kirtayedo Vipra Viprashe Bhuri Tejasa Am Chadigamam Tatra Nimishtam Stadanigraham Soham Shavayashyami Yadhadidam Yadamati. Or learned Brahmanas, when Shukadeva Goswami recited Bhagavatam there in the presence of Emperor Parishad, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus by his mercy, I learned Bhagavatam from the great powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I have learned from him, as far as I had realized it. Yadadidam Yadamati. This is a direction for any person seated in this Vyasapeda. Yadadidam, whatever to extent we have realized, to that extent you speak. Don't speak beyond that. Don't try to speak beyond that. Don't never consider yourself to be a very, very realized person. You always have the feeling that we are contaminated only, we are conditioned soul only. But somehow or other, due to mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to spread this knowledge that is there in our parampara to the best of our abilities. So we should be very, very humble when you are delivering lectures. Always keenly aware that is not our knowledge that we are passing. It's a knowledge in the parampara only, the teachings of the parampara. We are not teaching anything new. And our understanding of the knowledge in parampara only we can pass. And our knowledge depends on our purity. And our knowledge depends on what Srila Prabhupada says with rapt attention, means when you hear from others, when you hear from Srila Prabhupada, when you read Srila Prabhupada's books, you should read with rapt attention. The word rapt is very, very strong. Attention means Shraddha. Shraddha has two meanings. Shraddha, one meaning is faith, another meaning is attention. So, Sudha Goswami is addressing Vipra, the sages of Naimisharanya. Then Vipra Bhuri Tejasa. Vipra Bhuri Tejasa means that Vipra with having a lot of power. That is Shukadeva Goswami. Tatra Kirtedo Vipra, when this Bhuri Tejasa Vipra, there is Shukadeva Goswami, was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, I was present there. I was present. This is corroborated in the 12th canto, verse number, 12th canto, chapter number 4, verse number 43. Imam Vaksheriyaso Sudha Rishibhyo Naimisharlye Dirghasatre Kuru Shrestha Sampradishta Shaunaka Divi. Shukadeva Goswami is telling Parishad Maharaj, oh, the best of Gurus, the same Sudha Goswami who is now sitting among us, speak this Bhagavatam to the sages of assembled in the great sacrifice, Naimisharanya. This he will do when questioned by the members of assembly headed by Shaunaga. So the prediction of Naimisharanya is given in this verse. Shukadeva Goswami is telling Parishad Maharaja, see, among this, there is one person here. So look at it, that is Sudha Goswami. He will one day, he will deliver what I am delivering to you, the message I am delivering to you, Srimad Bhagavatam. He will deliver Srimad Bhagavatam to the sages
of Naimisharanya.
in Naimisharanya. So this is predicted by Shukadeva Goswami, Sudha Goswami. And Sudha Goswami says that because Nivishta Tadanugraha. Nivishta means entering to the ears. Very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam is there regarding Nivishta. Nivishta, Pravishta having the same name. In the same canto, chapter 8, verse number 5. Pravishta Karnarandhena Swanam Bhavasaroruham Dinodi Shamalam Krishnam Sarirasya Yadashara. The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, Supreme Person, Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on his lotus flower of his loving relationship, and then cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, hunger, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like the autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. So, our heart is dirty. It's containing dirty things like lust, anger, hankering, etc. All this will be washed away by the Mahamantra. When you listen with rapt attention, it enters the ear hole and then slowly downs to your heart. Just like the muddy pools are washed away by torrential rain in the autumn. So Nivishta means listening with great attention, rapt attention. And how you can develop this rapt attention? A strong sentences are towards the end of this chapter. Srila Prabhupada says, one should hear with rapt attention from real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of Bhagam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. So, if you want to give rapt attention, your mind should be pure, because there should not be any other thoughts. It should not be malice or wild thoughts entering our mind while reading Bhagavatam. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes when we are reading Bhagavatam, lusty thoughts may come in. Angry thoughts may come in. Then we'll not be listen to it or read it with rapt attention. Even when you're having this class also, sometimes our attention may waver, my mind may go divert. So we are not able to concentrate properly, means concentrate with rapt attention. And if you want to have rapt attention, you have a very pure mind. And nobody can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. Because karma, it plays, it influences, these vasanas will be produced. Karmic reaction will be entering your mind. So, if you want to have pure mind, your action should also be very pure. And if your action is pure, no one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. So this is very powerful. That means we should not live like animals. Our eating should be very nice. Our eating should be very pure. Sattvic food only offered to Krishna. Then we'll have nice mind, pure mind. And when you have pure mind, then you will have rapt attention. That's a way to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. Brought to us, carried down to us in the Parampara system.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'm leaving
Yes.
this meeting today. I'm going to Tanjavur tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, fine. If you
Hare
like,
Krishna.
the Wi-Fi is there, you can listen or you can
Yeah,
listen.
yeah, sure.
Thank you. So this ends the third chapter on the avatars, and from fourth and fifth onwards, we'll find the discourses between Veda Vyas and Narada. Thank you. Pancha Kalpatruvascha, Vasudevi Evacha, Padanam Pavane, Vaishnavibhyo, Nandagoni Vaishnavi Jai Shri